first date, Jeff?
Dang, Jeff.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for tuning into the Not Yet Famous podcast. My name is Jeff Motzinger, host of the Not Yet Famous podcast and owner of Torenzo Brands Agency out of Charlotte, North Carolina. Here with us this evening, we have our co-host.
Your boy Craig. This is C Izar. Izar for sure. Don't matter what you call me, as long as you call me by my name, then we good. What's good, peoples?
And, of course, our very special guest, Miss Coco Filipina.
Coco
Hi,
Filipino, what's good?
guys.
Welcome to the Not Yet Famous podcast. She came all the way up from Raleigh just to join us
That's right, man.
and had to fight parking in
Yeah.
Charlotte.
Yeah, it took a little minute, but we here.
Parking, but I got a really nice tour of Charlotte, so I didn't.
Especially
complain
those
too
one-way
much.
streets, right?
Oh man, those one-way streets are nice, especially when you're getting ready to go down the other way.
Yeah. So where did you actually come from? You came straight from Raleigh.
I came straight from Raleigh.
How long was your drive?
2.5, 3 hours.
Dang, you was moving slow, cause I'd have been here in like an hour and a half. Now I'm messing with you.
Man,
I'm messing. It's that traffic though.
we'll go with that.
Yeah.
It's those other tickets I've gotten.
Oh yeah.
before.
So you had to
Yeah,
slow it
So,
down.
so her
learning.
foot was not as lit as
I'm
normal.
telling you. 'cause
I'm
once
learning, man. It's expensive.
once you get towards Burlington, I
Uh,
swear to God, you can hit that road like it's nothing.
Man, it's at 85, but
So
Yeah,
obviously,
bro.
I know that you have a lot going on this weekend. Tell us a little bit about why you're here in Charlotte. Obviously, I would manage to luck out and get you while you were in town
well,
because
yeah.
I know you're busy. You stay busy.
I build my whole weekend around you. Nah.
That is so
Um,
nice. That makes me feel so good.
I mean, that's what I do. But no, a lot of the Fleet DJ members and head members are down here, so I'm down here actually networking with them, as well as I've got a client that's going to be having a listening session tomorrow. You're actually I can send you the information.
yeah,
on that.
absolutely.
But
Oh, so we invited?
y'all are invited. I will
Word,
give you
that's
that
lit.
information.
Where's it going to be?
I will not say that on
Oh,
air. It is
come on.
private.
Come
Well,
on.
well,
But-
hey, at least we getting into a
Yeah,
private
we're in.
session.
Sorry,
you know what I'm saying?
Facebook.
We
I'm,
lit.
I'm
Sorry,
sorry.
We lit.
Facebook. A lot of people
We
have been
lit.
have been trying to figure out where I've been too, and it's because I've been doing a lot of work offline. Like while everybody has kind of bum rushed Facebook and stuff like that, I don't know what happened. I always do the opposite of what everyone else is doing.
You always have kind of been your own trendsetter.
Yeah.
So obviously, me and Craig was talking earlier about it.
Yep.
You started Turn Tuesdays.
Mhm.
And that was your thing, and that's kind of how we came
Yeah.
cross paths, so to speak.
Yeah.
First off,
Hey.
let's just ask her, like, just give us everything about you, like a little bit of your background before we even get into what started the tapping.
Well, I'm a little bit of the jack of all trades. A lot of people know me for different things. Like depending on, you could be in a room full of people that know me, and I feel like everybody in there will have a different answer as to how they know me.
Okay.
I started out in the game as a musician, playing instruments, and then eventually I started getting behind microphones, and then became a producer, sort of, kind of. But I got smarter and started just connecting with really dope individuals that do produce or that do make music, and just started figuring out ways to push it out there. I opened a studio, and then eventually people kept sending me music because I've got a really great ear and an honest mouth. And I just decided I'd go live one day and just tell people the truth.
Word.
I will say, honest is a understatement.
I'm,
I've heard some of your critiques on Turn
I'm
Tuesdays,
boldly truthful.
and I thought I was blunt. Now
Yeah.
you crossed that line a little bit.
So that's what started Turn Tuesdays, just you connecting with people and knowing that you wanted to connect with different producers and different artists.
Everything I do, as far as like going from being a music critic to even some of the stuff that I do on the radio or just in general, I always do it from a perspective of I remember being an artist and wishing there were certain avenues, certain platforms, and they didn't exist then. So I was like, if I ever got that opportunity, I would build it. And I was crazy enough to really do that.
As they say, if you build it, it will come.
And it's true. It really does happen. They pull up. Hi guys, pulling up.
Well, it's pretty amazing to me. Like I said, we met at the Turn Tuesday event you were
Mhm.
doing every week, and it's just amazing to me how rapid it grew.
Yeah.
It really gained a lot of momentum. In a short time span,
Mm-hmm.
and then all of a sudden, you went from being Coca Filipino at Turn Tuesdays, and now you're on the radio. and
Yeah.
you're leading, Hot 97 in the Raleigh market.
Hot 97.9.
Hey, shout out to
Yes,
Hot
apparently I have to
97.9.
clarify because
Hot
apparently there's a
97.
Hot
It's
97 in
still
New
a
York.
lit. It's still a lit
Look,
radio
I will
station.
say this. I'm really focused on that number. I love that number, Hot 97.9, just because everything I've ever done ends up with that number.
Hmm.
Down to I did internet radio before I got on FM radio. And the internet station that hit me, I had a bunch of them hit me, but one of them was the Plug Radio, and it was 97.9 the Plug.
See,
And I was like, yo, I gotta have
full
it.
circle.
Uh-huh.
And then I got offered to be with, shout out to DY Nasty, to be on Hot 97.9. I was like, yo, this isn't a coincidence. I'm gonna keep going. So if you look Hot 97 in New York, if you guys are interested. No, I'm just kidding.
No,
She's
definitely,
like,
that's
she's
a
available.
good plug. I'm telling you, it's a good
I
plug.
mean, it's my number for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
But I love the station I'm with. I got an opportunity to work from the start of something to something that's gonna be bigger. Because DY started out just like how we're starting.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he ended up like having a vision to own his own radio station and did it. Those are hashtag goals right there. So
Yeah,
shout
absolutely.
out to DY. I definitely love working.
And I've worked with DY before as well.
Mhm.
On one of the first Not Yet Famous concerts.
Mhm.
And he's a great guy, and I have to give mad respect to him for what he's done. He's accomplished so much in
Yeah.
that Raleigh market by just being a leader, and other people look up to him and they respect him, and so I agree.
So how long you've been with Hot 97.9 so
I've been
far?
with them. This would actually be I'm in the middle of my second year being on air there. And
I see. What days are you on? What
I'm
time?
on Sundays 3 to 6 p.m. So make sure everyone tunes in. If you're not in my listening market, all you gotta do is go to hot979nc.com.
And you can listen to Coco
He
Filipino.
listen to me.
So, of course, housekeeping for Not Yet Famous podcast. If you have not done so, make sure you submit your latest record to notyetfamous@torrenzobrands.com. It's in the description of the podcast. We're always playing independent music every single week. Tonight was a very special night. We had to make sure we accommodated with her schedule, and I'm so glad we did with a special Friday date
Definitely.
and Friday edition of Not Yet Famous podcast. Of course, next week we will be back on Saturday, August 8th, with Icy the Boss will be here, and I'm
Ooh.
super excited for him to come on down. Let's jump into recently you put out a top 50 of North Carolina. Now,
Every time
that
I
was
put a list
controversial.
out-
Personally, I watched it,
Mhm.
and I agree with some of them,
Mhm.
but there's some that I kind of question whether they should be on that list.
Okay.
But I
why?
respect it.
No, I always, see, my question always to people when they see these lists is why do you think someone shouldn't have been on there, and why do you think someone else should be?
And obviously, I think that goes back to
Mhm.
perspective
I was
and
about to say
personal
perspective and what
personal
you really
opinion, I guess.
Like.
See,
Because obviously for me,
Mhm.
I do management and things
Right.
of that nature. So obviously the type of artists that I work with are more of a commercialized artist,
Mhm.
that you would hear on different stations, maybe not an urban market station. But a lot of those guys on that list I have heard of, and there's a few of them I hadn't, but I'm
No,
glad I did hear about
No,
them.
but
'Cause they're-
see, here's the funny part, and the only reason why I love the fact that everyone seems to bring up the list because I always.
but it's honestly
'Cause
it's
that's
so great.
That's a controversial
know
topic,
what?
so it goes.
It's controversial.
Yeah,
and
that's it.
controversy
I
sells.
am a walking controversy. I'm cool with it. I always try to put something out there that's gonna stir up controversy. I mean, I'll be real with you because of the fact that it does one or two beneficial things. It makes it where you went and you check those artists out.
Yeah,
brings
that's true.
attention to them.
It brings attention to them, whether
Especially
you
in the
like
local market.
right,
yeah.
whether you love the list or hate the list. Those lists do amazing things for the market because then it makes people stand up, beat your chest a little bit.
Yeah.
Because this is not, I mean, I'm going to keep it a band. When I think about music for me is a contact sport. You feel me? So, like, when people
Like
think
battle
that
rap.
you're supposed to always be in kumbaya mode, that's cool. However, there's a time where you're supposed to stand up and say, I'm dope.
Yeah.
So the reason why those people ended up on that list is because they're bold enough to stand up and say, yo, check me out, I'm dope.
Yeah.
And my list, people always seem to think that they come from me. That's quite contrary. The beauty of it is I have access to a ton of amazing DJs and amazing radio personalities, And when I compile a list, I never base it off of my actual opinion. Nobody on the list really from me.
All right, so let me ask you, how hard is that knowing that you curating a list like the top 50 of North Carolina rappers and you're not even putting your opinion
Yeah,
in
no,
there?
I put my opinion. There's certain times where I'll look over and I always looking for common names. So if I ask you and I ask you, give me 10 people because Jeff, I
Yes,
believe I
yes,
asked
yes,
you
man. I gave you 10 as well.
and I did use some of your
Yeah, I
people.
think China Vaughn was in it,
Yep.
and she's phenomenal. She does a great
China
job.
Vaughn, China Vaughn was in there, and a couple of other ones that you used. But I asked him, and I even told you, I was like, "Hey, I'd like to keep you anonymous, or
Yeah,
you're welcome to let people know." But I don't necessarily, I don't know how to put it. I don't like to put my personal opinion in it because it becomes like, is it about me or is it about the artist?
yeah.
Okay.
So I
Then all
feel
of a sudden
like
it becomes, oh, she
correct.
chose them because
Right.
she likes them.
Being a curator means taking my emotions out of it, taking my personal relationships out of it. Because if that were the case, then I would be making just a friends list.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of the lists that I see come out of the Carolinas typically are a list of your homies or people that work in the same studio or in the same circle. I wanted to get a list of artists that I personally may have not heard of. So I took the time before the list. That's why this year I did it rather than it being on paper. I did it where it was actual videos because I went through and I wanted to find out what is your what are your actual listening numbers? Is is there actual high quality videos of you out there? Are you putting in that work? So like when I made my list, I listened to y'all, the tastemakers, because I consider you a tastemaker.
Thank you.
I listened to like other DJs like Delmatic or Classic or High Rise or DJs like that, and I ask them and I find out who's working. Who have you seen in the scene? Who do you see come out and support even when it's not them? Who do you see out here that is making the noise that I can go into a club and at least 10 people in there know some of the words to the song?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Word, that's straight.
That's,
So yeah.
it was a great list, I will say. For the
It was
most part,
it
I
was
would say it was a
I know
really
there were
good
a
list.
couple of names in there that were
And there
but
was a few though that I actually went outside of the list and I looked them up
and you were like,
because I was like, oh, okay, I didn't know who they were.
right.
You know,
There were a
because a
couple
lot
of
of those shows that were being done, were the same people.
yeah.
It's a lot of the same people in those cliques when they do their shows, and a lot of the I think I mentioned this on the first podcast. Uh, a lot of those shows are so trended to who they like, whoever the curator is, and they like those specific artists, and that's fine. That's been the way it's been for years and ever. I've been doing this since 2001, and it's always been like that.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of people that look at a person who's putting on a show and they say, "Oh, I'm not going to do that show because they've already got their choices." And that's a shame.
And that's here's the thing. The irony of it is people will say they want people to not have their clicks, right? I'm actually one of those tastemakers where you just let me know you're trying to come to my show and let me see you put some effort in and I'll rock with you. I don't have a click. I don't I have opportunities to manage artists. I refuse because of the
It's a
fact
whole
I
nother
was gonna
world.
say managing an artist is totally
No,
different.
but
than
That's a whole
just
but the
different-
reason why is
doing what you're doing.
I really really work hard to remove the bias out of music. And I feel like that's what has messed up the music scene in the Carolinas and other music scenes is there's a bias that goes along
Yes,
with it.
and a lot of things that a lot of people they don't want to. I'm not gonna say work together, but they don't want to show support to other artists. That's what
Right.
makes it hard for people to get the whole city behind them. Because there's a couple of artists that I know in North Carolina that's doing their thing, but it's not like they got the whole North Carolina behind them or the whole city of Raleigh behind them or whole city of Charlotte. So people just gotta learn to support each other, and I think that's where it's gonna come.
So I'm gonna say something. I always like to come in and I'm gonna spit some truth that's gonna not sound like popular,
Word.
but
Please don't blow up my email.
this is what I do. You can send your hate mail to Coco Filipino and everything. But anyway, I think the issue really that goes on in the music scene is we're spending far too much time trying to worry about who's supporting each other and not just support ourselves. I'm going to pick up and do what I'm going to do regardless of who supports me or what they support because at the end of the day, I think what we're messing up with is we're worried about who's rocking with us as artists and we're forgetting that the whole plan and the whole point of this is our fans
Yeah,
and they're
yeah.
getting lost in the equation period because I hardly ever hear anyone when they're having the conversation about an independent artist, bring up the concept of how are we bringing in the fans?
That's what I was gonna say because it's a lot of the fans that don't support as well.
Well, you're not
So like,
you're not creating
Well,
an environment
from
that
my
makes you
perspective,
wanna.
I think a lot of them don't understand that it's a business,
yeah,
and there's a lot of stuff that goes into running the
Well,
music business
that's
as a business, like marketing.
right. Well,
Coming up
that's
with
where
business
somebody
plans.
like me comes into play. I'm not here for any emotion. I'll be your best friend. I have had showcases. Let me tell y'all a secret. I tried to do Turn Tuesday live where I let you come perform in front of me and then I give you my raw, uncut opinion. I had artists cry when they walked off the stage. And they were my friends before the show.
Wow,
Like,
savage.
what's up, dog?
now I
Y'all still
understand
there?
that now if the joint is whacked, then
No,
you're
no,
not
no.
gonna,
But here's
yeah,
the thing. I
never
don't
support
ever.
it.
I'm not a hater. But what I am is an honest person.
Honest, yeah, you can.
And the one you can't buy my opinion. You
Mm.
can't get me a drink. My opinion.
Mm.
You can't shake my hand. My opinion. You can't do nothing. My opinion. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But like most of the stuff that I say is not hater stuff. I don't say nothing from a hater perspective. I'm a musician, strictly. That's it. You get what I'm saying? Like I can produce your record. I can EQ that. You know what I'm saying? I can. I could sing on it if I needed to. I could write your bars for you if I needed to. I can go play the violin in the background of your music if I needed to.
word, that's lit.
So you see what I'm saying? So I'm listening to it from the perspective of I could go write the dang on literal sheet music to it. So I'm sitting there when I'm listening to it. It's not me critiquing it from I'm a hater. It's from strictly music. Sonically, is this appeasing to me? Aesthetically, if you're on stage, are you giving me a complete show? At the end of the day, when we're done supporting each other and being friends backstage, the people in front of the stage don't know you, don't care about you, and have no reason to care about you other than your talent makes me intrigued by you.
Yeah.
So I need you to come out here and be prepared to like put on a legit show and like really like take this serious. It's a craft. And I have so much respect for certain parts of the craft that when I was producing, I realized I wasn't a great producer. Spoiler alert, I wasn't. But I'm good at knowing what sounds good and what doesn't. And I had too much respect for the craft
to play with it,
to
yeah.
even play with it.
I totally understand.
You
that.
get what I'm saying? So the same thing goes for this music game. How many times have you seen a rapper that was like whack, but you're in the way? They'll take all the opportunities from the people who are in this and they're putting their blood, sweat, and tears and their soul into this. Sometimes you just got to be honest with people and be like, yo, you're in the way.
And I've seen situations where you do have those dope artists. They're trying to do everything that they can, and it's just like for some reason they can't get the step forward. You know what I'm saying? And those are the ones that I think need to find somebody like you or somebody else who can actually put them in the right spaces to where they can get in front of the right people so that they can showcase their skills the right way.
Yeah, I mean, where I came, the reason why I started having to critique people's stuff is because I had opportunities I blew because of the fact that I attempted to be nice. Nice got my opinion questioned from people who would have never questioned my opinion if I had just been honest instead of nice. I brought my friend. I said, "Oh, this is my homeboy. This is my dog. He gonna pay for my plane ticket, right?" Get one chance to be in front of. I had a mentor who was a record exec. Was like, "Yo, Coco, I trust you. Bring me someone dope." My homeboy overheard the conversation. Startup rapper. He's got the bread. He had a dream, but he didn't really have the right amount of talent, and nobody was being honest with him because he had the bread and the dream. So I bring him in front of a exec. This is your shot. He had a homeboy in the crew that was way hotter than him. He's standing there watching this man blow his potential shot.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? And then after that, when they walked out the room, they tore that man's record apart. They tore that man's appearance apart. They tore that man's social media apart. And then they tore me apart because they questioned
By association.
me. Yeah, because then they're like, what is your, like, how can I even respect your opinion if you're not, like, you clearly may either have questionable opinions or you just brought me trash and knew it.
Well, and I always say that, especially when it comes to the higher ups and the record label execs and high level producers, you get one shot most of the time with
That's
them.
all it takes.
Yeah, well, I mean, here's the funny part. You don't get one shot. You get one shot to fuck up. Pardon my language out there.
We're complete
Oh,
explicit.
great.
Trust me.
Ass,
yeah, you're
damn,
good.
and fuck. All
Whoa,
right.
whoa.
I'm here for it. But no, but you get multiple chances with people, but you only get one chance to fuck up. That's where people get it twisted. Like I could come to you a million times, and if I'm coming to you and I'm bringing you dirt and it's full of gold, right? And I'm good. Now let me come to you and I'm like, yo, this time bring a dump truck, and you go pick it up, and this time it's nothing but shit in the back of that truck. You're gonna be like, yo, Coco, I'll never rock with you again. It doesn't matter that I brought you a bunch of gold all the time.
Hmm.
One time fuck up.
Interesting perspective.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Dump truck of shit, y'all.
Well, let's jump into our first
Hashtag
record
it.
of the night. Had it submitted by Rashad King, Bombay, and LA. We're going to go ahead and get into that track tonight. As soon as I get it to play. There we go.
Let's get it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Are you crazy, contrabass?
What can I say? Just may take her out to LA. She just wants some Bombay. She wanna ride out to LA. Ay, what can I say? Just might take her out to LA. She want palm trees and shots of Bombay. She want palm trees and do the one thing. Ay, little baby wanna ride with me. She need a vacate. She wanna fly with me. She won't match your outfit. She wanna get fly with me. Told her she could have it all. Just don't lie to me. Spend it on the gram with your man. That's the plan. They don't understand how we can, but they stand. And all your friends is mad, cause they want me as they man. Girl, it be your own, that's why we need a plan. Let's get to the bag. What can I say? Just may take her out to LA. She just wants some Bombay. She wanna ride out to LA. Ay, what can I say? Just might take her out to LA. She want palm trees and shots of Bombay. She want palm trees and do the one thing. Ay, little mama need a soldier. Last was a lame, it's a shame. Swear I broke up. Worry about your ex man. Now I'm the professor. Teach you how it's supposed to be and how it's supposed to go. Yeah, let's get MIA. Take you to LA, make it rain, cause I reign. I'm LeBron, I'm the king. Ay, I'ma bring that pain. Ay, I'ma bring that pressure. Y'all better get at me, cause the price about to go up. Price about to go up. What can I say? Just may take her out to LA. She just wants a Bombay. She wanna ride out to LA. Ay, what can I say? Just might take her out to LA. She want palm trees and shots of Bombay. She want palm trees and do the one thing. Hey, what can I say? Just might take her out to LA. What can I say? Just might take her out to LA. Hey.
What can I say? Just may take her out to LA. She just wants some.
All right, and that was Rashad King with Bombay in LA. Thank you for that submission, bud. So we are back with Coco Filipina, and we were going into some of the discussions on just when you have the opportunity to be in front of any execs or major producers you want to work with, definitely don't mess up. You get one shot to fuck up, as
that's
she
what
says.
said.
You
So-
get a million shots, but one shot to fuck up.
One shot.
Now, obviously, Miriam just released a new cipher. I wanted to kind of bring this up.
Shout out
as-
to Mir.
Yes, shout out to Mir. And we were so happy we could be a part of it and sponsor it as the Not Yet Famous podcast.
Yep, definitely.
It was
I love
such
it.
an amazing production.
Mm.
I mean, Amani did a fantastic job producing that.
Well, you had a pack of like some of the Carolina's most talented artists. I can only imagine the energy was probably just.
When did this go down?
So they released it on the 27th. So I want to say that was Monday is
Mm,
when they released it. She had it under her belt for about a week.
really?
You know what I'm saying? I wanted to make sure she got some good promo out of it before she released it.
Okay.
And, it's starting to hit the ground running. I mean, it's starting to stream on all major platforms. And
Yeah, it's everywhere. Shout out to I saw DJ Chuck T sharing it. I saw Rap Juggernaut sharing it, and a bunch of other dope people. So shout out to Mir. Shout out to Juice Lord. Lena was in it.
Tag 'em was in it.
Tagum was in it. Shane was in it. Am I missing anyone?
And all those artists are local Raleigh artists, or are they
See,
from different areas
No,
in North Carolina?
these are all over the place. I
Word.
think Lena's from like the eastern part of North Carolina. Juice Lord's in
I
Durham.
think he's Durham, yeah. I think
Tagum's
Tagum's in Raleigh.
He's in Raleigh.
I believe so.
But
I mean, overall, I was highly impressed
yeah, but
by just
I like
everything she did with it.
I like the videography on it.
Oh, God, yes.
It was beautiful. So that was beautiful as fuck, y'all. Yeah.
I mean, and especially in the time we're in right now, it's so important to, make your voice heard. I just hope everyone keeps this energy, in the upcoming weeks and as
Arrest
we
the
move
killers.
forward.
And that goes back to what you were saying earlier about how the COVID thing stopped a lot of things that you had going on this year, and then you had to, start to be more creative. So how about you let us know about the creative things that you started doing since, a lot of things slowed down for you?
I have been doing a lot more. Like, it's odd. I went more offline during this crisis than I was when I was online.
Mhm.
Or I don't know how to put it. Y'all know what I mean? Yeah. But I actually started doing a lot more consultations. I spent a lot of time, probably the first 2 months, reading because I didn't think that this was gonna go on for that long. So I thought, okay, let me just read for a little bit and get some, just pass the time. And then month 3 came on, 4 came on, but during that time period, it made me regroup. I always end up reading and then coming out with new ideas. So I am relaunching some different things. I'm working on some stuff that I'm going to be announcing on my birthday.
Okay.
I will say one of them is NC Rap Scene is now incorporated. So I'm
All
very
right now.
But anyway,
People don't realize it's so easy to
Yeah,
do. It's not
definitely.
hard.
It's not that hard to get a
it really is
LLC or
easy to do,
incorporation.
but it changes the game on a
does.
lot of stuff because I'm reapproaching this differently. But during that time period, I did a lot of consultations, like one-on-ones, but I got an opportunity to really focus on them. And I'm right now helping a lot of artists structure a game plan. So now what I'm doing with artists, I used to just do a consultation and be like, all right, well, go perform here, here, and here. But now we got to think differently, which means there's artists right now who are used to thinking a certain way, and now they've got to regroup. My one of my degrees that people don't realize I have a degree or two, but one of them is actually in marketing.
Mm.
So I know how to look at you and okay, now we've got to do a complete 180 and we've got to change the game and you've got to create a fan base now. Right now, like in this coronavirus situation, your fans are the only way that you're going to survive.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Because you're surviving off of streaming checks and your business sense is how you're going to survive.
And any type of views that you can monetize.
I mean, your monetization, but without having your business in order,
Yeah, you can't really do
none
it.
of that matters. Then you're just having a popularity contest online.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, people don't realize too that I don't think when this is over, I don't see a lot of concerts happening. Like I don't think it's going to be to the same degree as
Capacity.
it was.
I feel like there's
before.
a new normal that's
Yeah.
happening.
Because, like you said, nobody thought it was going to last this
I
long.
didn't think it was going to last this long, but I was able to read a lot. I was able to read about 8 books. But I highly encourage, by the way, artists, don't be afraid to pick up a book relating to your craft. You'd be surprised what's in there. It's a lot of stuff that sound like no-brainers, but you had to have a brain first to get it.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
That makes sense.
I will say, although it may sound corny, knowledge is power.
It is.
You
That's
know,
not
it's-
corny
it's-
at all. Everybody should know that, man.
Yeah,
It's
they
not
should.
corny at all.
Yeah.
I like a lot of people look at me and they think that I'm like some phenom that happened to be young, and I'm I'm 30 years old. I'm helping run a whole DJ coalition. I'm on the radio. I'm doing all these different things, but it doesn't come from me being anything special, quote unquote. It comes from the fact that I'm willing to seek the knowledge to go understand it. You know what I'm saying? If you put out the initiative, and a lot of that is self motivation, anything that you want literally is attainable. And I know it sounds so corny and cliche.
That's not corny or cliche at all because people need to know that you got a lot of people who grew up who didn't even know they had these type of opportunities or
You have to
nobody.
create them.
Yeah, you can create them, but
Yeah.
still, there's people who didn't even know that they can do certain things. Like before I came to go to college, I didn't even really know that I can make music at my home without being in the
Mm.
studio. You know what I'm saying? But it took me to find Fruity Loops on my school computer in
And
high school.
but it took your desire to want to continue.
Yes, but if I would not have found that, I
Mhm.
still would have took me a little bit longer because I wasn't around people who did music or did
See?
anything like that. So once I found it, that's when I was because I always loved music. I just never knew that I could make it myself. I wasn't an instrumentalist. I didn't go to church where they taught me how to play drums or play, the piano
And then you
and stuff
fell
like
in
that.
love with it. Now
Yeah,
look
so
at you.
so once I found that, it was just like, all right, now I need to figure out exactly what I need to do. But there's still people out there who don't know, like, yo, you can actually do this on your own. You just gotta be willing to do it.
Yeah.
I commend anyone who does production.
So, to me-
production's hard. I've tried
Now
once
you
or
understand-
twice.
Yeah.
So both y'all understand why I was like, if I'm not good at it, I got
Yeah,
enough
of course. You got,
respect.
yeah.
Let me
That's
go
a-
hire someone who
let me-
is good
let
at
me
it.
tell you a
and
I've
then
done
story.
the
that
same.
coin.
Let me tell
The
you a
graphic
story.
design, same thing.
Mhm.
Production.
When I first started college, right? Because I was starting making beats and all that, I was like, okay. My brother used to be a rapper, and he wrote like a couple of raps for me when I was like 7, 8 years old. So when I'm like 16, I'm like, all right, I could rap. You know what I'm saying? But once I got to college and I realized that there was people really rapping, like I just took a step back. Like that's not my lane. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of people who don't need to be rapping right now, and they are. And like you said, they're taking up space.
But that's because
I
who
respected
is
the
telling
craft.
who is
enough.
telling people to respect the craft?
Yeah.
Like I'm weird is because everything with me is important is respect. You know what I mean? That's the most important part of music. If you're respecting it, then you're gonna make great music. You know what I'm
Definitely.
saying?
Agreed.
And there's a lot of people who are doing it to be cool or because their homie is doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of being like, bro, move, get out the way, and let your boy go ahead and win, because they don't realize him winning is them winning. We're all fighting for the same spotlight, and it doesn't have to be like that.
And that's another thing that I meant by support, because if you got a whole group of people and you know that there's one person who's doing the most, you can tell them like, yo, you got to step back, help your man's
The
out, get there.
convenience
You know what I'm
of
saying?
music has messed music up.
Yeah, it sure has, because people can do it
Because
so much.
There used to be a time. I have an older sister. She's deep into music. Shout out to my sister. If you meet her, by the way, totally different. Like I'm all hip hop. Nah, she's totally different. But anyway, when she was doing music when I was a kid, because she's a lot older than me, I remember going into the studio with her, and the reason why talent was so much stronger back then was because it was expensive to be in that studio.
Yep.
You didn't have the ability to put your whole entire studio on that laptop right there. It used to be a time where your studio would have to take up an entire room.
Yep.
And
You'd have your
Hundreds
bedroom
of
and then a
dollars.
studio
you'd
room.
right. You wouldn't even have it in your house. This is
Yeah, I was about to
expensive.
say,
It's
Jeff,
$100,000
you wouldn't have it in your crib.
equipment. You're in a whole space. Like the studio time was $50 to $100, and that was in the '90s. You
And
know
then you
what I'm
didn't play
saying?
around. And then also you had a lot of them camps where it was like, all right,
You
that
could
verse is trash.
right.
Go back, rewrite it, or we
would,
putting somebody else on.
you going into the booth to record 10 minutes was so expensive that you had to be taking it serious. You had to practice that before you came in, because there really
Can't
wasn't
play.
there wasn't 4 or 5 takes for your first 8 bars. You know what I'm saying? So we're in a convenience era, and unfortunately music is convenient. But there's beauty that comes out of this, though. The beauty is it's so convenient that people that would not have had opportunities to be creatives have an
Now,
opportunity to be creative.
That's what I meant by
And that is beautiful. There's those kids who are influenced by absolutely nothing now
Mhm.
creating. They just were born with Fruity Loops on their computer,
Yeah.
Pro Tools on there, and a microphone because Dad used to rap.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And now they're in the booth making these songs that are sampleable songs. We were in an era during when I was rapping where we were so busy sampling that there was nothing to sample. Now they're making music that if I was making a beat right now, I would sample some of these new kids' music. So the new music is amazing, but there needs to be some sort of filter on the drain, because there's a lot of coin out there to make, but there's so much smoke in the air that you don't know what's what.
That makes sense. Yep.
Great. I love it. Love it.
Oh.
It's such a
For
great
real.
perspective on it.
Yeah, definitely.
So real quick, we're going to jump into our second submission from Dora. I hope I said that correctly. With his song "Amazing," he submitted it via the Not Yet Famous email at notyetfamous@torenzobrands.com. Thank you for that. We'll go ahead and
Them
jump into
tracks
the track.
in.
Life is good, swear this shit is amazing. Can't complain cause I came up from Nathan. 2020, my years, you crazy. RIP, they killed George in the pavement. I can't fuck with that bitch, she do basic. Know that bitch wanna have my little baby. Go and get her right now, ain't no way. Prices high, so I'm out on LA. Life is good, swear this shit is amazing. Can't complain cause I came up from Nathan. 2020, my years, you crazy. RIP, they killed George in the pavement. I can't fuck with that bitch, she do basic. Know that bitch wanna have my little baby. Go and get her right now, ain't no way. Prices high, so I'm out on LA. $1 silent. Hit this stat, now I call what I like. Check on my status, I'm doing alright. Get out your feelings and go take a flight. Look at me now. 150s a book on me now. Landing in Melrose, we blowing it down. Niggas be snakes and I don't want them around. Let that fuck nigga drown. These niggas don't really want money. These niggas rather spend on the op block. These niggas be hoes. Man, they might as well put on a crop top. Headshot to the dome. Turn a nigga for a door to a drop top. Why you waving that hoe? Everybody knows she a thot. Life is good, swear this shit is amazing. Can't complain cause I came up from Nathan. 2020, my years, you crazy. RIP, they killed George in the pavement. I can't fuck with that bitch, she do basic. Know that bitch wanna have my little baby. Go and get her right now, ain't no way. Prices high, so I'm out on LA. Life is good, swear this shit is amazing. Can't complain cause I came up from Nathan. 2020, my years, you crazy. RIP, they killed George in the pavement. I can't fuck with that bitch, she do basic. Know that bitch wanna have my little baby. Go and get her right now, ain't no way. Prices high, so I'm out on LA.
I run it up fast and the feeling's amazing. Sex with my bitch is amazing. Burning I have with my kids is amazing. Ballin' so hard. I feel like the greatest. I feel like I made it. This shit is amazing. The bitch with relations with me, but she got a pick of this dick is amazing. I keep it real, no capping my rap, like the 83 babies. I get money, I'm counting up daily. I charge $2 for the Katie. Get ready for war if you play me. 38, baby, ain't leaving no casing.
Life is good, swear this shit is amazing. Can't complain cause I came up from Nathan. 2020, my years, you crazy. RIP, they killed George in the pavement. I can't fuck with that bitch, she do basic. Know that bitch wanna have my little baby. Go and get her right now, ain't no way. Prices high, so I'm out on LA. Life is good, swear this shit is amazing. Can't complain cause I came up from Nathan. 2020, my years, you crazy. RIP, they killed George in the pavement. I can't fuck with that bitch, she do basic. Know that bitch wanna have my little baby. Go and get her right now, ain't no way. Prices high, so I'm out on LA. I just got that gas from Texaco. Hold on my beat. That's amazing. I came up from Nathan.
And of course, that was Amazing by Door featuring Tony Texaco. Thank you for that submission. Make sure if you have a new record coming out, go ahead and hit us up on notyetfamous@torenzobrands.com. And of course, we're always accepting emails to be a guest on our show as well. I hope Coco is having a great time over here with us.
Absolutely having the worst time of my life.
She's so honest.
I'm
She's
tweeting
just-
about it right
man.
now. I'm
Oh
yelping.
man, see, we got to do better. Come on, man.
Hashtag worst podcast ever.
on,
Hashtag worst podcast ever.
So that's great because I'm going to go ahead and just ask you a question here,
up?
and we're going to see what your answer is.
Go
Okay,
ahead.
let's go.
Shoot for it.
What was the worst show you've ever attended, and why? Gonna put her on the spot, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we're gonna do. Shout out to Jam. He's watching us from last week.
What's good, Jam?
Of the twins, graphic designer extraordinaire. Shout out to you, Jam.
Battle rap.
Back to the question.
Battle rap.
Back-
Graphic goat.
Yeah, graphic goat, battle rap.
The
Battle rap,
worst,
graphic.
worst event or concert or.
Whichever one you want to do.
Yeah, or both.
All right, I've got all of the above. The one that happened about 3 weeks ago that didn't happen because of freaking coronavirus. Those were the worst concerts
What did we
ever.
say last week? Fuck coronavirus.
Yes, forget.
So those were the worst ones I attended because I wanted to attend them, but it would have been an audience of none.
Oh yeah, that would have
Yeah.
sucked.
Well, you might have had some that just be spaced out.
Oh,
Yeah, they'd
man.
been 6 feet apart.
Corona
Capacity would have been
has put a
24 people.
damper on all
Everybody wearing masks.
like every plan that I had. Like I plotted all New Year's Eve. I was like, I'm gonna do this, this, and this. And the corona was like,
Nah.
nah,
Shut
no,
that
you're
down.
not. You're not. You're really not. Here's some books. Read those.
Well, at least you got something out of that, though.
I read
You
a
know what I'm
book.
saying? You
I
guys was
read a
able to
couple books.
revamp a lot of things that you're going to do. So, like you said, some good came out of this.
Well, some
situation.
good did come out of it, but I am now like critiquing everything, like literally.
So where have we ventured off to? What are we critiquing now?
No, but literally, I'm critiquing food events. I am going to.
All right,
events
so we're
now.
gonna stop for a second.
Yeah,
All right, I saw the video of you critiquing food
and it
And-
went left.
and it went
really
left.
fast.
with Black Karen, right?
Shout out to Black Karen.
So tell us the story for those who didn't
Okay.
see the video. I saw the video,
I just
and I'm
shared
sorry
it.
I died rolling on the floor laughing because it was so crazy.
Yeah, so,
Yeah, let me
okay.
know about it because I ain't see it yet.
Let me explain to you. So whenever I go live, I rarely go live on my social media unless I'm actually doing a show. But if you go and interrupt my taping, because now I'm like doing actual tapings and stuff. If you interrupt my taping, I literally told her, I was like, now my show is all about you. And she was like, huh? I said, don't worry. You'll see it. So we're now at somewhere around like 14,000 views on this nice young lady interrupting a black food truck rodeo because she was doing everything in her power to shut it down.
Or
Like,
just shut down you filming it? Or shut down
No.
the
Yeah.
food?
it was
food
a
truck?
it was
Yeah.
a it was a black food truck rodeo. Shout out to Chef Williams. You need to have him on here. He's amazing, by the way. I'll
Well,
explain
that's
later.
your invitation. Come on, give me
You-
give me
you
an
gotta
email.
get
We'll get
Chef
you on.
Williams.
Not yet
Okay.
famous at Torenzo
And he
Brands.
Bingo.
might
Send it
bring
out.
y'all food if y'all nice.
Yep.
I will be back just
Well,
for his show.
as you've noticed, I have some weight, so I don't mind eating.
But Chef Williams is amazing. He even, when coronavirus started, this dude would go out to the hood and actually feed families.
That's
Word,
awesome.
that's what's
Because
up.
he was like, during this pandemic, people ain't got money like
Yeah,
that.
it's been hard.
He took his food truck, his money, his time, and would go to different parts of the community that needed it and would hand out food. He even would give out dinner care packages.
Yeah, man.
He was going to the elderly. So this guy is like amazing. So there's nothing you can say bad about this guy. So he threw a food truck rodeo and he invited other like black food trucks that rarely get a chance to link up to come out to the spot. He was friends with the owner of the location, who also happened to be a young black man. But a security officer from the location that I will leave nameless, just watch the video. If you're from Raleigh, you'll probably know where it is, Mini City. But she came over and decided she apparently wanted to shut the whole rodeo down. Nobody was complaining, nothing like that. Called the police on everybody. Brought the police out. The police was like, I really don't even care that you guys are out here. You're not bothering anyone, but
Yeah.
she's upset. You need permission. Turns out he had permission, written permission from the owner. She accused him of having wrote it himself when he went to his car.
I saw that on the video.
Right. And even coming up with a fake number, and they called the number on there. The police officer was pretty much cool with leaving, but the Black Karen lady literally was like, nah,
shut it down.
nah, fuck that. I need proof. I got action here, guys. So the owner drove from his home all the way from Wake Forest all the way down to where we were at in the shirt that has the logo from the building. Like the
Oh,
building wasn't
wow.
even open yet. He bought the building, put his thing in there. It's like coming soon, but in the meantime, my homeboy definitely can use the spot. But she accused him of being an employee,
Not even the owner.
not the owner.
Hmm.
And the police officer was like, please don't make me check this guy. I believe him. I'm not bothering him anymore. And then she pretty much was like, nah, fuck that. I need proof. And he was like, so I need to open the building with my key. So he opens the building with the key. And then she was like, nah, fuck that. You probably got a copy of the key from the owner. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that's messed up.
I don't think she's working there
I'm gonna tell you, I'm
anymore.
gonna check that video out.
Check Black Karen out. I added music.
I bet I was about to say it's
Theme
not
music.
it's not a funny matter, but I bet you I'm gonna be laughing.
No,
Oh,
no.
you're gonna laugh.
You're gonna
gonna
laugh.
laugh.
I introduced her like Shaft at the beginning.
Oh damn.
Yeah, you jump in my. This is to anyone who's watching. If you ever see me filming and you want to be famous, don't worry. You can come to the Not Yet Famous podcast.
Definitely.
But we're gonna make you famous beforehand. Jump in the middle of any of my tapings, and now the whole show is gonna be about you, starring you, hosted by you, narrated by
And thank you for the plug. I like that.
Yeah.
That was nice.
For
Can we
Appreciate
invite
it.
Black Karen up here?
Not yet famous.
Yeah, let's
at
see if
Toronto
she'll-
Brands.
I'll even
Black
I'll
Karen?
open the door
.com.
for her to make sure she knows it's mine.
Oh, she's gonna call the cops. She's
I don't
calling
want
the
nah, I
cops.
don't want Black Karen up
She's
here. I'm
gonna call
sorry.
the cops on the
And
way
she gonna try
in
to say
here.
she gonna try to say we stole all this equipment. I ain't doing that.
Nah,
I have the receipts.
And
Don't
then
worry.
when she see the building, she gonna be like, nah, y'all don't live here.
cops will be called. It's all good.
Awful. Well, let's get into our last track tonight. It was from Judah Real, and I'm probably saying that wrong.
Nah,
Hold
you
on.
saying that
Can I
right? Shout out to my
interrupt you?
homeboy Julian,
Hey,
Judah Real.
yo, I don't mean to interrupt, but no, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I'm gonna do something because I'm on your podcast. You invited me on your show. When you come to Raleigh, come sit in on mine.
Word.
I like that.
You like that? But I'm gonna do something even better for the artists that you have. Once a month, I need you to pick an artist that you find dope and that has their music registered. We can find that out by Shazamming your shit. But
The fastest way.
the fastest
is
way.
Shazam.
But give me one artist a month, and I will put them on my culture countdown.
Word. That's what's up. That's why
Very
we're trying to get
gracious.
these
We like
artists
that.
to send in
I
that
will,
music.
Yes, I will personally
So
like
Coco is telling you, send your music
Send your
into
music
me.
in.
send your music in
You
to
know what I'm
Not
saying?
Yet Famous
This is
podcast.
this is somebody who's on the radio in Raleigh, North Carolina, so she can get your
Everybody
record
who's
played.
on my countdown, I try to, like I said, I keep myself out of my opinions. I always get it from DJs or tastemakers that I trust. And
Word.
y'all seem pretty trustworthy.
I try.
I don't know, that
Uh-huh.
guy over there is kind of sketchy.
Me, I'm sketchy
But-
though.
He just chill over there. Just
I like
relax.
sketchy guys, so
I was
you're
about to
cool.
say, I was about to say,
I
I'm
like 'em
chilling. What you
sketchy.
talking
Sketchy
about?
is cool.
I'm
But
chilling.
y'all seem pretty all right. Send me some
We
music.
try to be all right.
But
We-
make
we
sure that
try.
shit clean. I can curse all I want to right now.
But on the radio, you can't do
You
that.
can't do that. I don't know how I've lasted 2 years.
Shout out to my homeboy Julian, Judah Real.
See the stars on the rave, you know I'm shining though. Niggas wanna see me fall, but I stay climbing, yo. Going hard all season, I got a boss. Yeah, I'm a fucking boss. Nigga, what you thought? See the stars on the rave, you know I'm shining though. Niggas wanna see me fall, but I stay climbing, yo. Going hard all season, I got a boss. Yeah, I'm a fucking boss. Nigga, what you thought? I might be colorblind, cause all I see is green. When I hopped off that porch, I had to stop them dreams. Had to go and chase that bag, get the shit that I never had. Switch up from Honda and the Chevy to that brand new Jag. Ayy, making a name, bursting the flames. She said I say sweet, call me Big Daddy Kane. Stacking and flipping and stacking the game. Asking on me like I'm Gucci Mane. You was a hater, now you was a fan. First is fuck me, now I'm the man. Niggas is bitches, I call them trains. My pockets is fat, got a couple of bands. Niggas hating, I don't know why. Niggas know I gotta reach the sky. At 21, I saw my father die. I got so much pain in my heart that I cannot cry. See the stars on the rave, you know I'm shining down. Niggas wanna see me fall, but I stay climbing, yo. Going hard all season, I got a bow. Yeah, I'm a fucking boss. Nigga, what you thought? See the stars on the rave, you know I'm shining down. Niggas wanna see me fall, but I stay climbing, yo. Going hard all season, I got a bow. Yeah, I'm a fucking boss. Nigga, what you thought? See the stars on the rave.
We back. Shout out to my boy Judah Real. You can check him out on all streaming platforms. That's why we've been telling y'all, send y'all records in. Not yet famous at TorenzoBrands.com. Definitely gonna get your music played up here. Coco Filipino mentioned that, we send something to her, she'll get it played. So definitely send them tracks in. I also want to give a shout out to my homeboy Yeeves. Got the fire kicks. Loyalty.
Those are dumb fire.
Yeah,
Bro.
Loyalty is law. You know what I'm saying? Check him out on Instagram, all that, Facebook. Got a copy up here. They black owned, all that. He got
Hold on,
shirts.
wait a minute. Let me see that again.
All right, hold on. Let me,
Do the full rotation. Now, I don't want
Hey,
your whole foot. bro.
hold up. I got to show you both of them.
Dumb fire. Okay. All right.
Check my man out on Instagram, black owned. You know what I'm saying? That's family right there. So check him out, yo.
We do it all on the Not Yet
telling
Famous
you, I'm telling
podcast.
you.
Shoes,
Shoes.
music.
You're trying to be a guest.
We got a
you-
videographer
Yep.
coming in a few weeks.
Trying to be
Hey.
a guest. You want your music played. You're an entrepreneur doing anything. Hit us up. We're not playing. We're trying to get y'all in here. Stop playing games.
Let me
I'm
get
trying
some-
to be the next Coco. I want to.
Whatever, man.
I want to grow like Turn Tuesday. I want Not Yet
Whatever.
Famous to
This
be
my
like that.
dog right
Remember,
here.
loyalty is law on Instagram and Facebook. Go copy some kicks.
Yo, can I give some shout outs?
Yeah, let's get it. Let's
Yo,
That's
get
what
it.
it's
shout
for.
out to my boy Climax from the basement. Shout out to Eric Styles. Shout out to Kel L, Mr. Armbread. Shout out to Mikey Ike. Asia, she's got a dope song called 12 Play. I wish I could play. Is there any way I can send you
Yeah,
a song? Can I
Send
send you
it to my
something?
email and
Oh,
we'll
I'm
play
about to
it.
send you this.
I'm just
and-
really mad that you got a list over there. She's got a list prepared.
That's how you got to do
of
it, man.
shout
It's
outs.
like, you know
I
what I'm
love
saying?
it.
Shout out to B
That's
Polo.
prepared.
Shout out to everybody at Hot 97.9. And of course, shout out to Fleet DJs, the hottest DJ coalition in the entire universe. Possibly like the even alternate universes, I'm pretty sure.
That's pretty big.
It's
Wow,
pretty
that's
big.
pretty big.
All the
Almost bigger than
Spider-Mans.
COVID.
Yo, I'm so sick of COVID.
Oh my god, I'm so
I'm
ready for it
telling
to be
you,
done.
I'll be real. I've lost so many friends.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear about that.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, it's rough. It's rough out
it's
here.
rough
you know?
out here in these streets. But
so
I'm
you gotta
not,
send me that so I can play it. Come on now.
I got excited. My bad.
I'm
man.
about
She-
to say,
she
we
got
gotta let- You gotta let her
sidetracked.
talk, Jeff. You gotta let her talk.
She got
Yeah,
sidetracked.
Listen, I really will talk, y'all.
Hey, that's what we're here for, man. We're glad that you came. You know what I'm saying? This
Because like I
exciting.
might have been late,
Not-
but we're gonna do this.
We're
not
gonna do
Jeff.
this.
Jeff
Better
is
late
sitting
than
here, he's
never.
sitting here thinking to himself, he's like, no, you will not talk.
Hey, the more you talk, the less I do. So that's
Let
good.
me see. I'm about to play this 12 play. Let me get this 12 play. This is my jam right now. So I played this song on my show. And
So you're gonna email it, right?
I'm emailing
Oh,
you.
okay, gotcha.
You
But
see how it-
I don't think she's gonna play it from her phone. She's more
I was-
professional.
I was
than
like,
that.
I mean,
I don't know the email.
See,
And
I'm
my
kind of mad because
lashes-
we just plugged that email 3 times.
all right.
Not yet famous.
All right, can I be real? You know what
At
it is?
TorenzoBrands.com.
I got a confession, guys. I'm lazy.
Hold on, wait. So you're saying you lazy with all the work that you're telling us that you do?
Steve Jobs said, and I quote, he would only hire lazy people because they get things done in the most efficient and fast way. I
As
am
they
one
say,
of
work
those
smarter,
people.
not harder.
I am a Steve Jobs employee. You
Without
can
work.
hire me, you might fire me too, because I'll be in eating Fruit Loops.
Fruit Loops.
Love fruit. Actually, cinnamon. Anyway, let's not get on those tangents because now I need cereal.
So while we're waiting on that email, let's see. What do you give as a recommendation to aspiring artists? Obviously, there's a lot of people out there, a lot of great musicians in the North Carolina area, but there's
Some
people,
dope ones.
there's some really dope ones.
Don't
And-
compare yourself to anybody, like at all. Like, and don't look at someone else's success and compare their pace to your pace. Your like arrival time is totally different, and you don't even know. They may be working hard, and you could blow tomorrow over one song.
That's true.
Yeah.
Like I was telling my homeboy the other day, he do videos and stuff like that. Shout out to my boy Brian Garcia. If you need your video shot, look him up on Facebook. He'll definitely look out for you. But like I was telling him, he's doing videos for local people. I said, man, all you need is somebody to come to you with a hit, because you got the visuals already. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're different than other people out here. So all he got to do is have somebody come to him with a hit, and then his time will come. That's basically what I've been telling him, man.
Yeah, I mean, and not just that, y'all. When y'all get a single, don't let go of the single so fast. I watch these artists spend 3 months promoting a single, and then when it drops, that's the end of that. That's I never hear about it again. And I don't
Yeah,
know.
that happens all the time. Like I hear
Yeah,
people.
like
But
why
you know what
do
it is?
that? That's the most weird thing I've ever seen in my life.
You know what I've encountered, and it's funny because this come up on every single show. People are not being consistent. They're not motivated to keep going. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't want to invest in themselves to actually go to the next step, man.
Well, I mean, it's kind of like, all right, I'm great at analogies. It's like my favorite thing to do, you guys. You're single when I watch people promote it for like a whole year. They be like, yo, I got a single dropping this summer. Make sure you check it out. It's kind of like being pregnant, having the baby, getting excited about, during the whole pregnancy, having the baby, and then just leaving them at the hospital.
Not leave the baby at the
They
hospital.
were like, yo,
come on,
dropping soon. And then it drops. She was like, that's it.
yeah.
What?
Yo, that's hilarious. Man.
Wow. Well, why don't you go ahead and introduce this track? Because
All
you
right.
sent it for us.
I'm going to introduce this song. This is by Asia. I'm so excited and proud of this artist because I watched her actually send me this song to Turn Tuesday. And it wasn't completely mixed. And I was like, this is a hit, but this mix is trash. And instead of her getting mad at me
She took it.
and you know what I mean, but people understand if you're listening, you'll understand what I'm trying to say is you could be amazing if you did this. And she took this song, got it mixed, and went and did a video for it, and then sent it into Hot 979's email, which is the culture, and 979@gmail.com. Anyway, but she sent that in, put it on the radio, and she actually, first song ever on the radio, ended up retiring out at #1.
Word, that's what's
Wow.
up.
Crazy amount of people just bought into this song organically because it is dope. So Asia, I went out of my way to make sure I played this song because it is fire, and you need to push this for a long ass time, like I was talking about a second ago. But yeah.
Who's saying the beats? Play you in my bed. No foreplay, no playing games. I don't really wanna play no games. I don't really wanna play no games. Temperatures rising. Your body's yearning for me. For me. I'm hands on that first ring. You see, you and me, we got this thing going on. When we're together, our clothes don't stay on for too long. For too long. Too long. Patiently waiting, now you got me faded. Do what I came to do. Patiently waiting, now you got me faded. Boy, I'm so in love with you. 12 play in my bed. No foreplay, no playing games. I don't really wanna play no games. No, I don't really wanna play no games. Step into my playground. 'Cause I'ma ride you up and down, inside to side. You got me walking side to side. I know it's going down, baby, for sure. You can close that door or leave it open, it's your choice. Don't want the neighbors to hear my voice saying, oh, yeah. 12 play you in my bed, yeah. Foreplay, no playing games.
What's up? What's up? We back.
Can I just say I told y'all that song was fire?
That joint was alright.
We was literally just
Fire.
sitting here while I was playing, talking about just wow, that's
Yeah.
some great
You know what I'm saying?
vocals.
She got the old school vibe on there. You know what I'm saying? The nice little sample. That was fire.
Super smooth.
So
I like it.
keep pushing that song,
And you said it's Asia.
Asia.
All platforms. Is there like a
All-
specific way to spell her name?
A''JA.
Yeah, we definitely needed that.
Yeah.
Because everybody would have been looking at ASI.
Yeah,
I said
No,
just type it
Asia.
in.
no.
So it's Aja, A''AJA on all
Aja.
streaming platforms. What's the name of that record again?
12 play.
12 Play, yeah.
That song is fire.
And of course, if you're in the Charlotte market, come on down. I'd love to have you
Yeah,
on
that
the
was
show.
Asia, I'm about to hit your inbox and I'm gonna plug you in. Get on the show, bro.
Definitely.
Because I'd love to hear some more of your records. I mean, that's really good.
Like we've been saying, send that information to notyetfamous@torrenzobrands.com. We're trying to get you on the show. We're trying to play your music. We're trying to support. And we're trying to showcase what you got going on. So don't slack. Hit us up, yo.
And once a month, he's gonna send me a hit.
Yes.
Yes, once a month.
Once a month. So y'all gotta hear, like, while y'all listen to that music, I need y'all to be Coco
Oh, yeah,
for
of
5
course.
minutes and be like,
Of course.
that was amazing, or that was hot garbage. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
I'm going to be like, take
Yeah.
it back.
Yeah.
Take it back.
First of
Flip
all,
the table over.
Jeff vets
Hashtag.
Jeff vets all the music that comes in. So
Jeff
if we're
actually
playing
has
it,
sat in on a Tuesday.
Mhm.
I'm not even going to lie. No
I-
offense to it because I thought it was a great concept. I felt so damn awkward in that spot.
I
I
know.
felt so out of place.
Yo, I had the best studio in the world. It was horrible. It was great.
but trust me, if he's playing it, it's at least decent enough.
Yeah.
Oh
It's good.
yeah. No, but I'm talking about the studio space. It was
No.
great and horrible.
No.
It's like
So I'm talking about back where you were in the storefront.
Yep. Oh, that one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's where I
that-
first came.
I
And
thought
that,
you didn't come to my studio.
I never came to the
I
studio.
miss my studio. If anyone ever got a chance to be at my actual studio, that place was great. I built my first booth there, inside out.
That's what's up.
You know how you watch those like home improvement shows?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do
Nobody
I,
explains that you flip the walls around and then buckle them. My shit looked weird for a minute. And then
Oh, so
someone-
you had the buckles on the outside. Yeah.
It was all
yeah.
kinds of weird on the outside.
Trust me, I built the booth before, but I just did it.
I didn't know what I was doing. I've
hammer and
learned.
nail.
I guess what I'm not
Mhm.
good at. I'm good at a lot of shit,
Word.
but
But building ain't one
Yeah,
of them.
building a
Holy
booth
God.
is difficult when you do it the first time, especially if you never did
I
it
sent
before, you don't
everyone
show.
out of my studio for a weekend. And I was like, y'all go to Myrtle Beach. I'll sponsor. And they're like, oh, man, Coco's awesome. And then I was like, I'm going to redo the whole studio. I repainted it. It looked good. But then there was this little fugly booth in the corner
Yeah.
that I had, like, watched a 30-minute video on YouTube. And I was like, you can build a booth in 30 minutes.
That's exactly what I did.
You can't build a
My-
booth in fucking 30
And
minutes.
you know what's so crazy? Yeah, my booth took me more than 30 minutes, but I had all the measurements wrong because I'm thinking like you needed enough space for people to be in it, and my joint was huge, so I had to take it down after
I
like 2
didn't
months.
plan for a roof. They hadn't had no roof. There was no roof. It was roofless.
So the sound was just going out.
No, but I'm gonna keep
So
it a
the
band.
booth
It was
had no
actually
roof.
the best. Like it had dope ass sound out of it though, because it was.
It depends on how you're able to mix the record.
I had
you
a
know what I'm
good
saying?
box
Like,
guard,
yeah.
bruh. I spent money on a good box guard. I should have spent money on a carpenter instead, but I digress.
Well,
Yes.
I have to say thank you so much for joining us
Definitely.
tonight
Thank
on the
you.
Not Yet Famous podcast. It has certainly been enlightening, which I knew it was going to be.
Informational.
Very informational. I knew it was going to be when I had you sign up to come on down here. I knew that it was going to be interesting, and you did not disappoint.
I try to be at least, if not interesting, quirky.
Quirky is a good word. I like it.
Quirky is a good word.
Well,
And of course, just as a reminder to everyone, if you have not done so, if you want to be a guest on our show, we are booked all the way up for September. We are now booking into October.
Yep.
So that should tell you something. People want to be on the Not Yet Famous podcast.
Yep, and
So
get
why
them,
are you waiting?
get them tracks in? You know what I'm saying?
Get the
Send all the
tracks in.
information
You
to
could
us.
be famous after you come on Not Yet Famous.
For real.
Like, that's concept. Great.
Exactly.
And then there'll be a part 2, and it'd be you're already kind of famous on the
For real.
podcast.
And then next time, we'll bring Coco back,
and then
and
y'all can
you
chop
can
it up.
be here, and then she can critique you,
I'll just stand in a corner disapprovingly,
just nodding your
Just-
head, disapprovingly.
just writing stuff down.
Mad discreetly.
Mad discreet. And, of course, next week, like I mentioned before, August 8th, we'll be back on our Saturday schedules.
Back to regular scheduled programming.
Back at our regular time at 8:30. Just to cook up.
I've
Don't
been
blow
this
up like that,
before.
bro.
No worries.
Man,
I'll be writing a critique about
it don't
this
even
after
matter.
the show.
I
I'm
like
about to
it,
say
I
it don't
like it.
even matter because we accommodated this for you. So
Yes.
just to make sure that
The Friday
we
night
could get you
episode was for Coco.
in. So it was a special time, special date. So
What
people
they
not mad.
don't know is as soon as we're done taping this, turn this whole shit right here into a party.
It's about to be lit, guys.
So everybody's going to be so upset
Turn the
underneath
black
me.
light on. Let's go, guys. Get the fuck out of here. Turn on black lights.
The
Get
disco lights are going to drop.
disco
you know.
lights drop. Twerkers come out of nowhere.
I'm waiting for that. Let's see.
Of course, he's waiting
I
on the
told you
twerkers.
he was the sketchy guy in the corner.
I'm waiting for that. Let's
and
see.
now look, just get me out of here,
I'm
man.
saying,
Get me.
You talk about you got
I'm
chicks
taking-
twerking.
She's like,
out
I'm
here.
done.
I'm out
Bring
of
them
here.
in.
I'm done.
So as always, guys, thank you for tuning in to the Not Yet Famous podcast. Tune in next week on Saturday, 8:30, when we have Icy the Boss. If you have not done so, of course, once again, submit your latest record to Not Yet Famous at TorenzoBrands.com. It's in the description of this video. And, of course, as always, go hard, grind daily, and, of course, get famous.
Peace out, peoples.